What up, what up? And we back. And this is it, man. This is it. I'm telling you, bro. We're going to get started for real now. Hey, I know we've been posting super inconsistently. I mean, shoot, I've been posting videos on this channel since I was in 7th grade, which was 7 years ago at this point. Man, but now this is it, bro. I'm telling you, this is the start of the beginning. Today, I'm going to start posting more consistently. All right? I'm going to post this right now, obviously, and then starting next Sunday, I don't even know what day that is. I'm going to start next Sunday or Monday. I haven't decided. One of those 2 days, I'm going to start posting consistently. We're hoping for 2 to 4 times a week, all right? Haven't planned out a schedule super effectively yet. I'm trying like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday type beat, maybe a Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll see. We'll see. But the main thing is man, we're going to get started in this sports talk. We're going to be taking a whole bunch of different avenues at this point, all within the sports world. And I'm pumped, bro. I am so excited to start really getting after it, start really going and learning more about sports and just having fun with it. I'm probably starting this out with 0 views, as any YouTuber does. But this is the beginning of the journey. Hop on now and just enjoy the ride. We're going to be doing a lot of different things with the main 4 sports in America. So we're going to be talking a lot of football, a lot of basketball. I'm not big into baseball. I love the St. Louis Cardinals, man. Don't get me wrong. But I just don't know a ton about the sport. I know how to play the game a lot. I don't know a ton about the MLB, is what I should say. I could probably name 1 player on each team, maybe if I'm lucky. And right now I can't even name you an A's player, so that just get rid of what I just said. So I'm gonna get there though. We're gonna get back into baseball, and I want to get into hockey. Hockey is one thing that I don't even really have a favorite team. If you ask me my favorite team, I might say the Penguins. I just spent the last couple of years in Pittsburgh. A lot of big Penguins fans out there, obviously, and so I'll go for the Penguins. I'm also not too far away from Vegas. I really like the idea of expansion teams, and in my memory, I've really only seen the Kraken and the Golden Knights be that expansion team, and the Golden Knights just working it so perfectly, right? They've executed their plan amazingly. Made it to the finals, the Stanley Cup, man. Stanley Cup finals, their first year, right? I don't know. We're gonna get into hockey, and we're gonna do it through a lot of different outlets. We're gonna be taking quizzes on here. We're gonna be playing 2K, Madden, and shoot, I might throw in some NHL here in the show. We're gonna be talking just like this, where I just, kind of ramble here. The sports rambles might be like a weekly event thing where I just talk about whatever I want to talk about in the sports world. Again, playing 2K, building franchises, maybe it's Road to the Show or whatever it may be. There's gonna be a lot of different outlets. And that's what I want to make me different, right? I love watching your 2K YouTubers, your Madden YouTubers. And some of them cross paths a little bit, but it's not what I'm looking for. It's not enough for me. I feel like I have to watch 3-4 different YouTubers, which is cool. But I'm just gonna do me, right? And that's what having your own YouTube channel is all about. And I hope there's folks out there like yourself watching this video that hits home for them. They're like, oh yeah, I can get on board with that. I want to follow along with that. I want to get into hockey. I want to get into baseball. And if you don't, that's cool, man. Just watch my basketball videos. Just watch my football videos. Whatever you like, that's what I'm here for. We're going to have a variety of different things, but stay tuned. There's a lot coming, and I'm excited for it. So start now, and we'll enjoy the ride together. Appreciate you all. Now, with that all being said, I don't want that to be the only part of today's video. That might be like my little channel blog, that first little video that pops up. But today I wanted to talk about something that's really big in the NFL right now. We know they just worked out a new, I don't even remember what they call it. In the NBA, they call it the CBA. In the NFL, it might be something different, but I'm going to call it the CBA just because that's what I know it as. It's a collective bargaining agreement, right, between the NFL and the Players Association, the owners and the players. How can we combine to make this the best product that is respectable and fair to everyone as best as possible? And this is causing some issues, but honestly, it's been causing some issues for a long time. The running back position is a problem. It's a problem right now. As we see Jonathan Taylor just to request a trade earlier this week from the Indianapolis Colts, which is crazy. I mean, if you know Jonathan Taylor, I've watched him since his Wisconsin days. And man, was he a stud in college. Sheesh. Probably was up there, could have won the Heisman, right? He had an elite college career. But putting that aside, he's been an amazing running back in the league, obviously working behind one of the great offensive lines in today's game, and has been for the past couple of years. But it's seeing a loyal dude like him request a trade out because he doesn't feel like he's getting valued a lot, and this being a league-wide thing, right? Najee Harris has come out and spoke about it. We had that whole ordeal with Saquon, who basically just folded for a couple million. And can you blame him? No, not at all. He got a better contract than what he would have signed with his franchise tag. But we see Josh Jacobs, another young stud, just holding out, not showing up to training camp because he wants a better deal. And can you blame him? No. Running back position might not be the hardest in sports, but outside of fighting, I would say it's one of the most physically demanding. Because you're getting, 40, 20, 30 carries a game, right? And you're taking a hit every single play, at least one. If you are one of the best, you're breaking a couple tackles and you're taking multiple hits in one play. And it's just a hard position to play. I mean, a lot of folks just say, hey, taking the ball and running, right? But the kind of wear and tear that's on this dude's body is insane, which is why the league and why organizations have started going towards like a platoon of running backs, right? We see a lot of guys get a lot of teams get your speedier, quicker, long distance runners, and then also a third down back, someone who's going to take a couple hits, push the pile a little bit, a strong back for third down situations. We're seeing a ton of it. We see it in Green Bay with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, right? They were the first ones to come to mind. We saw it a lot in New England last year. Now we'll look out for Ramondre Stevenson to take a lot more of those carries because Damian Harris is now in Houston. But those platoon squads, they're not getting enough value for one guy, right? We're not seeing any of your big name running backs like your Saquon Barkley's, like your Nick Chubbs, like your Josh Jacobs get these massive contracts compared to these other positions because league owners see them as, hey, you're kind of broken. And we saw that with, and can we blame the owners either? No, because we've had the Todd Gurleys, right? We've had them. We've also had Adrian Petersons, a guy who got injured multiple times in his career, came back, won comeback player of the year, won MVP, rushed for 2,000 yards after an ACL tear. Okay, we've seen these kind of things, and it's really hard to find that right value for these running backs. Now, from my standpoint, we got to pay these dudes what they deserve. I think it's a dang shame that guys like Ezekiel Elliott, guys like Josh Jacobs, who's kind of under contract but not really, guys like Dalvin Cook don't have a job right now. They're not under contract with the team. They should be paid some good money. Now, Ezekiel Elliott, is he really on those levels with those two other guys I named? Probably not. But you get what I'm saying. They just feel, running backs are feeling undervalued and replaceable. which, I mean, take it how you will. But some of the best running backs shape an organization. Barry Sanders, Sean Alexander for a long time, right? Clint Portis, Adrian Peterson, like I said. Marshawn Lynch for the Seahawks. He held the running game down. From my perspective, I would like to see these guys get their long-term deals. Give them some security. Even if you don't believe they're going to last you the whole 4 or 5 years, you know what? It's a respect thing. It's also a stability thing. You don't see very many teams win without coaching stability, quarterback stability, and running back stability. It's super undervalued. And there's some offenses that get away with some of those. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They haven't really had a consistent running back game. They've had Isaiah Pacheco. They've had Clyde from LSU, Edwards-Helaire. Wow, I forgot his name for a second. They've had LaShawn McCoy even. They've had Le'Veon Bell, I think, was there for a time. And their offense is insane. But I don't think we should compare every offense to the Kansas City Chiefs because it's just not it. They also haven't had any wide receiver stability. The only two consistencies they've had is Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. That is it. That is it. Some of these other teams that had success, and I know this game is a lot different than it was even 5 years ago, where Marshawn Lynch was a very valued man, where Adrian Peterson was getting 30, almost 40 touches a game. It's a different league, but these guys are still doing their thing. They're moving the ball, they're moving the chains, they're getting you down the field, and they're giving up a lot to do it. Pay them what they deserve, right? And we can have this conversation that athletes are overpaid, whatever. I'm saying compared to wide receivers, compared to quarterbacks, should they make quarterback money? Absolutely not, right? We all know quarterback is probably the hardest position in all of sports, and at least on the football field. But these running backs deserve a little bit more than, $10 million a year for a guy like Saquon Barkley. More than $11 million a year for a guy like Josh Jacobs. Okay, we need to be talking closer to 15, 16, right? At least on these 1-year deals. But the biggest thing, it's not even about the per year. It's the contract security. We need longer contracts for our running backs. We need to give them something that they can bank on. This is something that Le'Veon Bell argued over in Pittsburgh. And we also have to look at the different things that a running back does. A running back runs the football. They block. They catch the football. Okay, they're doing so many different things, and they have to be valued as such. Now, I think you can split up that running backs don't need to get this paid the exact same, and why the franchise tag is just horrible for guys like Saquon Barkley is because some running backs can catch a pass out of the backfield, and they're going to be great yards after catch guys, move the chains that way, and some just aren't, right? Like some of them are good pass catchers, and some of them just aren't. Okay? You didn't really see Marshawn Lynch catching the ball out of the backfield, but you saw Le'Veon Bell catching the ball out of the backfield. And don't get me wrong, Marshawn could, but that's not something you saw a ton of. Whereas Le'Veon Bell, he was number 2 in receiving yards behind Antonio Brown 1 year. Okay, that's insane. We got to value these guys at what they're worth. We can't just say, oh, you're a running back. Price tag's right there. Right, it's hard enough with the draft where you say, oh, you were picked the 5th overall, this is your paycheck. Okay? It's tough. It's tough. And so I'd like to see a little bit of a conversation. So comments like what John Irsay from the Colts said, even though they weren't directed at Jonathan Taylor, it just kind of hurts a little, right? It just doesn't make sense. It's just not logical. He doesn't provide any evidence. He's just trying to get the convenient route, right? He's just trying to get out of it. And I respect Irsay. I think he's one of the best presidents in the organization in the NFL. But this is a tough take. I hope Jonathan Taylor can get something that he wants, get himself some security, get him some money. But man, we just at least have to have that conversation, is what I'm saying. is what can these running backs do to get that contract security so they don't have to feel like they can only play 5-6 years before there's too much wear and tear and they're on to the next young guy. Just my take on it, especially when we throw in, I thought I was done, but I'm not done yet. Hold on, I'm not done yet. Especially when we throw on in the draft, we're talking crazy, like Bijan Robinson, number 8 overall. You kidding me? No, what? What's wrong with that? A running back is one of the top performers on an offense, right? I mean, if you just think fantasy draft, you're going either a big-time receiver or a big-time running back before you even think about a quarterback. At least you should be, depending on your league, but at least you should be, especially in a PPR. The devaluation of running backs has just become too much for me to handle. Running backs are too much of an offense, too big of a part in your offense to be underappreciated and undervalued. If we go too much to the passing game, it's just not good for the game. It's not good for the game. It's not good for any team. And we need to see that running back come back. And so what we need to see is we need to see another 2,000-yard rusher. You know, who could that possibly be? You know, is it a young guy coming up here like Jamar Gibbs, like Bijan Robinson? Does Derrick Henry do it again? We need an explosive running back to really push an offense forward. Once again, we need to put some respect on their names because this hate's just too much for me. But that's enough of that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, like I said, I'm going to be getting more consistent. I'm excited. This is really the start of the Rice T18 channel and all of T18 media, which is soon to come. You know, it's going to be an exciting ride. I'd really appreciate it if you join me from the get-go. And help me out along the way. Give me some feedback. You know, I'm here for it. I need all the constructive criticism I can get. So please bring it. If you love sports, though, this is the spot to be in. Stay tuned.